Mabuhay! LadyMid0ri here to present you the 11th episode of ReDRAW with me. For this episode, we're doing the winner of the poll you've chosen, which is ta-da! Cardcaptor Sakura. It was almost a tie in all my social media platforms because there's one vote for Cardcaptor in Facebook, one vote for Sailor Moon in Instagram, and a tie in my YouTube community post. So my poll in DeviantArt actually does get the most reaction and votes. So thank you for your response. Maybe I'll also start adding polls in my Ko-fi account. I'm not actually updated with the Cardcaptor Sakura manga, so I'm not sure what's actually happening in there. So we're not going to talk about that. Instead, I wanted to make this a comparison video for both. The comparison is based solely on my opinion, so if you prefer the one over the other, then let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Now let's begin. The main character. Sakura Kinomoto is a good model student who wakes up early and goes to school on time through her rollerblades. She puts on her gear as her safety precaution and is a member of the cheerleading squad. But I can remember that she is also afraid of ghosts. I remember the episode when she and Xiaoran was about to capture the erase card and there were paranormal stories around the cave they went into. However, whenever she comes across a card, she does her best to capture it with the encouraging words of Kiro, Yue, Tomoyo, and most especially Xiaoran. As for Usagi Tsukino, she is an underachiever who is exactly the opposite of Sakura. Perhaps the good side is most students can relate to Usagi. She could be a klutz at times, even as Sailor Moon. But when she gets serious in defeating the villain, along with a little push from Tuxedo Mask and his Rose, she and the Sailor Scouts are able to save the day through the power of love. When it comes to dealing with their everyday lives and opponents, I think the point goes to Sakura. Perhaps I can relate to her, although I'm mostly Usagi when it comes to being on time or being a klutz. So Sakura wins this round. Early access of ReDRAW with me, plus download the high-res image of the art that appeared on the episode. Just go to ko-fi.com/LadyMid0ri and choose whether you support me via one-time payment only or monthly payment. It's your choice. Missed an episode where I featured your favorite characters? No worries. You get to purchase previous digital artwork featured in my YouTube video. Just message me at Ko-fi to request a previous artwork and send me a screenshot where you found the artwork. For example, in my social media or in DeviantArt. Then, I would put the request up in my shop specifically for you to purchase. The plot. Let's start with Sailor Moon. Usagi Tsukino was one of the chosen magical girls to protect Earth from multiple villains. She was given a compact to transform with as Sailor Moon in case of battle. The battle usually ends with Sailor Moon cleansing the victim used by the main villain. If you find this very similar to Miraculous, it's because it was made by the same animation studio called Toei. So yes, the plot is similar every episode. A villain uses a civilian to become their puppet, and the Sailor Scouts fight them, and Sailor Moon cleanses the civilian and brings everything back to normal. The difference between Miraculous with Sailor Moon is Sailor Moon has an actual plot and connects with the other episodes. What's funny is they don't have a mask to cover their identities, but it seems that no one recognizes them when transformed. Now, for Cardcaptor Sakura. Sakura Kinomoto was chosen to capture the freed cards because she unknowingly released them. She was given a key that transforms into a staff to capture the cards. Upon her battle with the cards, her best friend, Tomoyo, would encourage Sakura to wear outfits fit for the battle. I just don't know how Tomoyo even manages to match the outfit for her actual battle. The plot may be similar to every episode, but what's different from Sailor Moon is Sakura's costume changes every episode, and the situation changes depending on which card she is facing. Of course, the ending may be the same, but not every episode Sakura captures a card. Magically, no one manages to see what Sakura is doing while capturing the cards. Though her brother Toya and her teacher Mizuki would keep an eye on her from time to time without informing her that they know what she was doing. Sailor Moon had multiple seasons in which I have finished, and I think I'll have to binge watch them to even remember the actual plot. And Cardcaptor Sakura is still ongoing, but I don't think it'll match the season Sailor Moon even had. But we're not here to compare which had multiple seasons, but talk about the plot. Although the villains are different per episode in Sailor Moon, and you have to keep track of the timeline because of going back and forth from the present to the future, you'd have to be an avid fan and pay attention to small details. And believe me, even though I've watched the whole series as a kid, I don't think I can connect the dots by then. So if I do binge watch it as an adult, maybe I can enjoy it better. As for Cardcaptor Sakura, I don't consider the cards as villains because I see them as magical beings just being free from being trapped in a card. But of course, the cards being on loose would cause havoc, so Sakura is responsible for it. So, before we dive in any further, who wins the plot? Although it's not yet finished and it's still ongoing, I give the point to Cardcaptor Sakura. The story is so heartwarming and wholesome, you'll get a toothache like how Kiro does. The costume. Magical girls are known for their transformation and their costumes. I'm in the midst of this since I love the transformation sequence every time a Sailor Scout transforms. And of course, the enemy would stop whatever they're doing until the magical girls finish their transformation and say their catchphrase. Of course, who wouldn't love Sakura's change of costume every episode? There are even moments Kiro or Shaoran had to pair with Sakura's costume. Although I do love Sakura's change of costume every episode, I prefer Sailor Moon and the Sailor Scouts with their costume. Although it's not really for fighting, since their skirts are too short, so I prefer Miraculous because they're in tights. But it's their signature. The point for costume goes to Sailor Moon. Sailor Moon wins this round. Hello! LadyMid0ri here. A quick update regarding my community post about my mother. We still haven't got the wound debridement yet, so I'm still waiting for the donations to come. I'd appreciate it if you can share my post, or if there's someone you know, because I'm going to do emergency commissions. I'll be posting them later on. So there, it's just a quick update, just in case since I want to spread the word out there. And I think when I've posted it in my stories, a few people only have seen it and viewed the actual fundraising event. And of course, it's going to take a while, I know, and I'm thankful for those who have donated, especially from one of them came from one of my regular clients. I'm thankful for her. So there, I won't be taking much of your time. Let's get back to the video. The weapon. Sailor Moon had multiple weapons as the season progresses. Her power upgrades as well as her magical weapons. As for Sakura, she has her key/staff that she can bonk with an enemy, but without the cards, I can say it's pretty useless. So with her staff along with her cards, she can be powerful. Although Sailor Moon had multiple upgrades with her powers, since it mostly cleanses an enemy with the power of love. Yes, I know it's cringy, similar to the power of friendship. I don't think it counts as a power. Sakura's cards are more powerful because it's not limited to cleansing an enemy. Although combined with the rest of the supporting casts, I only compared the powers of both the main characters. Sailor Moon would probably overpower Sakura with her cosmic powers, but when it comes to an actual battle that doesn't need cleansing, I think Sailor Moon's power would be pointless, as it uses the power of love, so it heals the villains. When it comes to strength and magical abilities plus damage, the point for the magical weapon goes to Sakura. The supporting casts. Well, without comparing the two, I think we all know which team wins this one, as Sakura has Shaoran, Yue, Kiro, and of course her cards to back her up in times of need. While Sailor Moon has a team of scouts from Tuxedo Mask, Sailor Mars, Sailor Mercury, Sailor Jupiter, Sailor Venus, to Sailor Chibiusa, Sailor Saturn, Sailor Uranus, Sailor Neptune, Sailor Pluto, and so on and so forth. The point goes to Sailor Moon and the Sailor Scouts. The antagonists. Unlike Sailor Moon, which has obviously had an enormous amount of villains, Cardcaptor Sakura would only have one or two antagonists. I didn't see Ariel as the main antagonist because it didn't felt like it since he was the creator of the clue cards. I feel like he was just testing her since he is the reincarnation of Glow himself. Cardcaptor Sakura doesn't have an obvious sign who the villains are since you have to suspect anyone who is withholding information from Sakura. I know Sakura is still a kid, so I don't blame her for not sensing right away who her enemy is. Though Ariel was throwing off some obvious signs for Kiro and Yue to detect his presence and to put Sakura on guard, but I like it when the antagonist isn't really obvious. Whenever I see Ariel, I would be confused whether to see him evil because I really don't see him that way. I guess because he's so cute. Well, anyway, Kiro and Yue knew he was just doing all those things to test Sakura, even though she was put in harm's way. Not sure if I'm going to count Kaito as one since I still haven't read the manga, so I'm not sure of his intentions. Although Cardcaptor isn't finished yet, so not sure if we can still see additional villains or it would stop with Kaito. I like the idea of not knowing the antagonist's intentions, so I think the point goes to Cardcaptor Sakura. The songs. Just like the supporting cast, I think we all know which series had the most songs, but we're not going to base it off to that. I think the first opening of Sailor Moon will always be a part of my childhood. Though Cardcaptor Sakura has catchy and warm tunes in both opening and ending songs, it still can't beat the tune of Sailor Moon. The intro will always give me the shivers. So yes, the point goes to Sailor Moon. With just a point behind, Sailor Moon loses to Cardcaptor Sakura. I feel like even if Cardcaptor Sakura is finished, it still can't beat Sailor Moon when it comes to the plot, supporting cast, and villains. So that's it. Here's the final look for my Cardcaptor Sakura redraw. I'll make a community poll to which drawing should I redraw next. I'm excited which you would choose. See you in my next video.